Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. Yes, I'm going to keep the shades on because my eyes are red. Allergies are back. All right, so I'm going to talk about this overall stock market. And for those of you in the Chicagoland area, I'm coming to Chicago September 5th. I will be in the Chi-Town September 5th. Please stay tuned for that. Anybody in the Chicagoland area. I'm going to make this one quick and to the point. We had a lot of data. I'm going to tell you what I think about the overall stock market. Okay. Of course, anything I say is not a suggestion. For you to buy, hold, or sell, you have to do your own due diligence. I'm just telling you what Larry sees and what Larry is thinking, and then my inspiration. So I don't know what that is, but it'll come to me. We had a lot of data that came. First, we had jobs that came over the last 10 days. And the jobs data was showing that the job market, it was conflicted. So it was lower job loss than expected, but it was still job loss. But as you dig deeper into the jobs data, you will see that people were just tapping out and not searching for jobs. And there were less jobs posted. So jobs are not really looking good at all. And as you could see, the market, as it deciphered this information, it began to really not like it. So it popped on the initial report. And then the market kind of cooled off a little bit. It didn't tank. It just cooled off a little bit because reality set in, right? Then we had CPI on Wednesday, all right? Consumer Price Index. It measures the rate of change. I'm going to keep educating as I talk because we have new people joining here all of the time, right? We had CPI. It measures the rate of change of goods and services and products that we consume. And it measures the rate of change, right? It showed that we are, or should I say, inflation is slowing. All right, so the rate of inflation is slowing. Inflation is still high, but at the rate that it was going up, that is slowing. That's good news. Why? Because the Fed has one less reason to raise interest rates. That is good for our stocks. High interest rates, bad for stocks. Low interest rates, better for stocks, good for stocks. Low interest rates with positive earnings from these companies, especially big tech, good for stock, good for crypto. That's why crypto is up. Crypto cannot thrive or survive with high interest rates. Then on Thursday, we had PPI, Producers Price Index, okay? Same thing. It measures the rate of change of goods and services produced by the producers. It showed that the rate of inflation for producers was coming down, right? And so again, good for CPI, good for stock, right? And less likely that the Fed will raise interest rates. So these are the things that we are looking at, and those are all good news. Then came the consumer. All right, the consumer report. That is alarming because the consumer the consumer has less consumer power more than a year ago. So the consumer is buying less, right? And because of inflation, the dollar is worth less. That's what inflation does. So the consumer has pulled back on spending. Remember, we spend and that actually helps our economy. So now the consumer has slowed down its spending. That means we're showing cracks with the consumer, and that's not good. So now, when you put all of this together, what is it that I see? I see that a lot of the good news has already been baked in. It's been baked in already, okay? And so what do we have to look forward to? Let's look at what's happening in Iran. That's actually getting worse, guys. The situation with this war against Iran is getting worse and it's ratcheting up. Okay? They have a chokehold on the straits. Now the US is talking about taking over the straits, and that conflict is getting worse. So, what do we have to look forward to? We had good job earnings, good PPI, good CPI. We measured what the consumer is doing. And what I'm seeing is, and the stock market is at all-time highs. So I'm not saying we will have a cool off. Remember, all we can do is make a plan. I just think that we could have a cool off. Okay, so now you've heard me say in the past, we could have a cool off from now until October. I still believe that. Listen, that does not mean that it's going to happen just because I believe it could happen. We're still in a midterm cycle, and historically it has happened. So what do? I'm in the market. I haven't sold. We bought every single taco trade. We bought the inflation trade. We bought the tariffs. We went in heavy on Liberation Day. I showed you guys the moving averages I use when I buy, and we're still holding. So we are still up if you've been with me for a little while. Now what? Now it's up to you, okay? I'm telling you that at some point on some of my stock, again, I'm gonna be looking at stop losses. But we trade the market that we are in. And so far, the bulls have it, and the bulls keep running with it. There's a saying that the market could be insovereign, the market can be irrational longer than you can be sovereign. That simply means that if you want to short the market right now, the market can continue to go higher longer than you can remain in a short position. So be careful not to front run and start shorting right now. Be careful. Now, when you got stock like SpaceX, I'm just going to come out and boldly state that I think that a lot of people are in a bear trap. A bull trap turned into a bear trap. Bulls gouge up, bears claw down, and I just believe that SpaceX is in a trap and it will come back down. That's what I believe. Does it mean it's going to happen? Nope. And why do I have a little bit of doubt? Because it's Elon Musk. Same thing happened with Tesla, and all of the Tesla shorts kept getting wiped out. So be very careful when you start to short SpaceX and by how much. Larry, you just said it may be coming down. It just may be coming down, and I believe it is. And I'm waiting for it to come down for my entry price, okay? So that's what I wanted to talk about. Let's see what this week gives. I do believe that this week will be a truth teller by Friday. I believe that this week will be a truth teller as far as the direction of the market, okay? Now, I'm gonna switch. I got 2 more minutes to talk about something inspirational. I know that I talked last week about the tomorrow you versus the today you, okay? And I'm going to reiterate that point because that is the biggest problem that we have in America. We got $15 trillion being transferred over from the silent generation on to my generation. So my dad's generation was known as the silent generation, and my grandfather, who was my roommate, he was the greatest generation. They went to war. They built this country. So now, I'm just gonna tell you, a lot of your parents, if your parents are in their 80s, they have money you don't know about. A lot of them have property, though they grew up poor, but they were blessed to buy properties that cost $15,000, $17,000 back in the 70s, okay? They were paying in 15 and 17%. But now some of you, that property, my dad had property that he paid 30,000 for one, 17,000 for another. That property's worth $1.8 million today. And a lot of you, your grandmas, nana and them, and auntie and them, and big mama and them, they're transitioning. They're going to go home to be with the Lord, and they're going to be leaving a lot of money. Number one, you need to talk with them right now. That needs to be put into a proper trust so it could be transferred over to you and you not give 30% to the government. So make sure that it comes over to you tax-free. Start having these right now. I know this is my inspirational, but this educational inspirational. And then I want you to think about the tomorrow you. I want you to look at your kids and say, what am I leaving them? I want you to start making decisions right now that the tomorrow you is going to thank the today you. My wife was in an Uber and he was talking, and I was telling this Uber driver, like I've been telling all of the Uber drivers, drive 1 more hour a day and 2 more hours on the weekend, meaning drive 2 more hours on Saturday, drive 2 more hours on Sunday, and drive an extra hour every day if you're full-time Uber drivers. Why? And invest it all. Don't put it in the bank. Put it in your broker account. Why? Because the tomorrow you is going to thank the today you. Okay? I'm a church brat. Y'all know this. They used to sing a song, Sending Up My Timber, right? For my mansion in the sky, in the great by and by. They're sending up timber, right? And so that means what they were saying is, I'm doing right now. So when I get to heaven, my mansion is going to be nice. That's all it meant, sending up timber. Of course, my mansion is going to be gold. So I'm sending up gold shavings right now. So in finance and in service, send up timber right now. Do right now. A lot of people have floods and all of this. And I'm helping right now. I'm talking with Keenan and Josh, and we're going to do something collectively. We may or may not post it here. We do stuff all of the time. We just don't talk about it. But I'm sending up my timber by treating people right and doing for others. I'm going to say this. 1 or 2 of you that are listening to me, the reason why God hasn't blessed you financially, because he can't trust you. All of the money you make is not for you. It's to help others. The reason why it's better to give than to receive, because it's better to be in the position of the giver than the receiver. You were built to be a bank, okay? You were built to be a lender and not the borrowee, okay? And so I want to continue to help you, to put you in the place, the position, the posture of the lender and not the borrower. That's what God created you for, all right? So that's my inspiration today. But it's time to shift and start studying. It's time to stop being a consumer and start creating wealth. It's time for you to study, because your tomorrow you is depending on the today you. Hey, I'm coming to Chicago September 5th. September 5th, I will be in Chicago. I will be with the Ray Sisters in their prayer conference. I believe it's their 44th annual prayer conference. But they're giving me 2 hours on September 5th, 9 a.m. You're going to see a blue link below. Hit more and then hit description. I'm going to leave a link. I'm going to pour into you guys for 2 hours. It's called Faith and Finances, but I'm going to talk a little faith and a lot of finances. And I'm not going to withhold anything. So if you live in the southern Wisconsin area, if you live in the Chicagoland area, if you live in Northwest Indiana, if you live in East Chicago, Indiana, all the way to Joliet, listen, come and join me. Right, it's centrally located for everyone, right? And join me for 2 hours. I will be there. Click the link and come meet me, all right? I'll be there for 2 hours pouring into people. And if you are already registered for the prayer conference, then your ticket is already there. They are charging a very, very, very teeny tiny registration fee. All right. That's it, good people. We will see you later. Live, love, laugh, and learn. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. The video before this, everyone that put their name in the chat, I prayed for each and every one of you. Okay. I will see you tomorrow. Live, love, laugh, and learn.